Sometimes I literally wish I could just listen to Brooke Castillo's podcast while I'm recording my own, because everything she says is just so inspiring. And it motivates me to record these podcasts for you. So hopefully you're getting twice the goods, double whammy. I'm talking about Brooke Castillo's Life Coach, the Life Coach podcast, as well as Stacey Bowman's, what's hers called? Let's see here. I have it right in front of me-ish. Let's see, her podcast. It's called the Make Money as a Life Coach podcast. Not only is it amazing for life coaches, it's just amazing for any creative entrepreneur, leader, person who's changing their lives at midlife, at quarter midlife, anywhere, wherever you are. So I recommend both of them. They're amazing. So she's talking about dread today. I'm about to go for a run. I just put in a load of laundry. I weigh too much. I have been undisciplined for 5 years, 4 years, I don't know. And I'm on my way to go for a walk /run /lift some weights. And I dread it because I dread looking at myself in the mirror. I dread looking at my hair, which is not as thick as it used to be. I dread those two things primarily, looking older. I don't mind the gray, actually, a little bit here and there. And so when I'm giving into the dread, she talks about dread sprints, kind of like you run sprints to improve your speed and stamina. Dread sprints. What she's saying is to basically run into the fire, run into the fear. And specifically for me, as an Enneagram 3, again, talking about us achievers and high octane, high fear, high anxious, Enneagram 3 types, achievers. Really any aggressive type or heart type. 3, 7, and 8s are the aggressive types. The heart types are 2, 3, 4. So a lot of these things I think will relate to many of us. But the dread for me isn't so much working out. It's how I look, really. It's just looking at myself. And so when I look at myself, then that doesn't motivate me, of course. It instead depresses me, and it keeps me just kind of stuck and paralyzed, doing nothing. There's a laundry. Speaking of laundry. Why did I do laundry? Because I'm home, and my work is from home, so I can do that. I don't have to have my wife do more. She has a full-time job, the 9 to 5, and I get to be home and be an entrepreneur. I'm also looking for a 9 to 5, but that's why I'm doing laundry. Plus, I need clothes. We need clothes. So running into the dread is, I don't want to say I'm going to look at myself in the mirror more often. I don't think that's really helpful. But certainly doing things, not just being paralyzed. I also made a beat. I woke up this morning and I was going to work on another project that I have that's due tomorrow, Friday, yes. But instead I did something that I love, which is making music. And so I listened to some Nick Mira stuff. And speaking of dread, Nick Mira is, I think he's still with Internet Money. He's a young producer that I really like his style. It's more moody and emo. My beats, I don't do R&B. I don't do a lot of West Coast. Mine are more sad trap, sad chill, lo-fi type beats. And so, yeah, I can try to make other beats, but that's what comes natural to me. That's just my personality and the chord structures that I come up with. So very much like XXX Tentacion and 6ix9ine, and well, 6ix9ine is more crazy, but it's more of that XXX and Juice WRLD. Rest in peace to both of them. That's more my style. Internet Money, Nick Mira. And so, anyway, so if you want to listen to my beats, you can go to my YouTube, and there they are. I made a beat, did some laundry. I also, part of the Enneagram journey, and part of what she was saying is that sometimes that dread is what keeps us from our dreams. And our dreams are, as I often say, on the other side of the dread. So for me, the dread that I'm feeling right now, more than anything, more than hair, more than weight, is it's not even money per se, yes, but it's my career. It's, am I really going to change from a white evangelical church pastor that paid me good, decent, normal money to make ends meet, to go and be this media mogul for Jesus? The answer is yes. Media and music. The answer is yes. Every time that I say that out loud, I think yes. The dread is, it takes time. I'm not afraid of not succeeding. I'm afraid of money, of when is it going to come in, and I need more than just a couple $100 here and there. So that's the dread. The dread is, it's taking too long. It's not going to work. It hasn't worked before. Why would it be different this time? Blah, blah, blah. The passion, the truth is, this is working. Things are growing, and this is what I want to do. And in the meantime, I'm trying to get a 9 to 5. So that's the dread, fear. It's not what if I fail. It's more, when will this work? When will this happen? Do I have time? It's more of a time thing. Yes. I don't have time is what I tell myself. I don't have time to play around with my computer. So to lower that dread, to get rid of that existential fear, I go towards it. So what did I do? This is very entrepreneurial. I texted a friend who I've worked with before about working together next year, about creating content and really speaking my truth, that what I want to do is not make money. That's just the fear, I guess, or maybe the obstacle, if anything. But the passion is the gospel. I am convinced, and I always have been, that music and media, especially hip hop and these more modern beats and rhythms, as well as media, meaning podcasting, creating content, is the gospel in 2023. It's been the gospel. But I think churches and Christian leaders are just beginning to realize this. And the pandemic made every Christian leader think, oh no, my church is going to die. I'm going to lose my job, lose my church. So I'm going to live stream and Zoom, right? So that's what most leaders focused on for a year and a half. Then after that, it's now get people back in the doors. Oh no, we have to create excitement and revivals, and all that is good. But now what? Now that, let's say those two things are, quote, sort of back to normal, or maybe they're not even normal. Now it's time to create content and blow up online for Jesus. It's the bottom line, to punch the devil back. The devil isn't taking any breaks with content. Do you think he took a break during the pandemic from content? He created more content, more evil, more destruction online. While most of us Christian leaders were fighting over the vaccine or mask, or fighting over Trump or not, or fighting over Zoom or whatever it was. It's ridiculous how we as Christian leaders get so focused on the minutia of today, and really it's all fear-based, and I get it. So have I. So did I. But now that I'm free of that guillotine, then now I want to create content, but it's filled with dread. The dread of, as I said, when will this work? When will I make $1 million a month? Let's just say 10,000 a month. How about, yeah. I texted my friend to run into the dread, do some dread sprints. I'm going for a walk, runs, workout here. I'm doing laundry. I also, the dread again of money and stuff and career. Last night I was on Instagram, and a friend of mine who I'm working with some music, he owns like 2 or 3 companies, and he put an ad or a story asking for drivers to deliver I think he does jumpers and party supplies. And he said, you can start this week. And I immediately said, hey, sign me up. And he said, oh, sorry, I already found someone else. But he said, it's good to know. I'll hit you up next time. I told Rochelle that, and I don't know what she thought. I know she's often thinking how demeaning those things are and how I'm above that or whatever. That's beneath me. I don't think that. I'm thinking, that's easy. I want to drive around delivering stuff and not blowing up, but plugging in jumpers and party stuff, and I don't know, piñatas and chairs and tables. Yes, good workout. I know my back will hurt, and I'm not exactly 23 anymore, but I want the money. It's easy. I do not care. I just want something that brings in something steady. And I know this is not exactly the steadiest job. It's probably, I don't know, maybe just seasonal, even though I don't think people are doing a lot of parties right now, right outside, because it's colder. But anyway, my point is that that's me running into the dread. Actually, it's not even my dread. I think that's more my family's dread. I don't care. I've thought of cleaning homes, working at Home Depot, mixing paint. I used to sell insurance for Solar City, or not insurance, but sell solar panels. It doesn't matter to me. Yes, I'd rather work in an office doing bookkeeping for a church, sure, but I will do whatever it takes because my passion is music and media, becoming a music and media mogul for Jesus, a millionaire. But beyond that, as I said, I don't care about the money. I want to kick the devil back, or kick him in the mouth, punch him back, because the gospel is what we need. And kids and young people and young and old are destroying their lives through drugs and alcohol and horrible music and horrible content. And now is the time for us as people of God to create content that is going to save and rescue our generation from the grips of the devil. In Jesus' name, I see myself as a modern day Billy Graham, Luis Palau, with a microphone and a laptop and a camera. And I want to be that hub for Christian leaders here in the area to create content, whatever it is, podcasting, on the road, IRL, in real life, music, media, anything that deals with really content, music or media, podcasting, are for the gospel. It's discipleship, really. It's discipleship and evangelism and worship. Really, it's the same thing as always. The 3 E's: exalt, equip, and evangelize. Worship, preaching, and discipleship or evangelism. That's what I'm doing. It's just the means are different. I used to do it from a pulpit and an acoustic guitar on a stage, and I still do that. I still love that. Not as a career per se or as a full-time thing. I do it as a volunteer, but it's still the same thing. It's just that now I'm adding tools that I've always loved to do. I've always loved to use these tools. I've been podcasting for 20 years before it was a thing. I've been doing music forever, obviously, and producing music for at least 5 years. And now it's blowing up, and there's so much more to come. There's so much more to do. And so I'm running sprints or dread sprints by texting my friend, by being open to driving a van, by having more of my musicians here, always making disciples, always spending time praying for them. My beautiful wife makes coffee and puts out chips and candy and snacks and water so that the artists feel at home. Our house is clean. We pay someone to clean the house once a month. I keep all my gear clean and up to date. I'm always working on the latest plugins and techniques to produce better and better music, to become a better and better producer every day. Always a pastor, always a disciple maker, always an evangelist through these tools, always a lover of people, a lover of God, a lover of my wife, and also traveling. I want to be able to fly first class everywhere, anywhere we go, or even a private jet for my whole family and friends. I want to be able to employ producers and employ art directors and employ video directors so that Trig Media and Victoria's Records can help anyone in anything that they need. And like my brother Water Walker and I were joking about, we just want to put our feet up, not that we would, and sign artists and sign more content creators and say, okay, who's on this week and who are we helping this week and how much money's coming in and how much money's going out. That's all we want to do. And evangelize, and for him and for me too, to be actually stars ourselves, and for him to rap and me to sing and preach, and stars meaning to create content ourselves. I was talking to my friend about going on the road with him and creating content for him wherever he goes. That's another thing that I really, really, really want to do. I've been dreaming and thinking of this forever. It's normal in the real world. Miles Minnick, who I just saw a couple weeks ago, shout out to Miles. He's a Christian rapper, one of the top, even just non-Christian rappers, one of the top rappers right now. And he has someone with him all day long creating content. Just a young man next to him that's, not only is he kind of like his gopher and his, scheduler and handler, I guess, but he's a content creator just with a phone. And that's enough for him, Miles, to create content for all of these things. I mean, meaning Instagram and TikTok and all the rest. And you should see, I don't follow him, he's just too much, but wow, he's always making content that's amazing, engaging, and that's how he's blowing up. Why blowing up? For the gospel. We're talking about the same old story, just in a fresh new way. And that's what we're doing here. That's why I'm so excited. And yeah, I'm filled with dread. The ultimate dread is I don't want to do this. I want to go back to Egypt. I want to go back to my nice little comfy church that hurts and that controls me, and all the things that I've experienced in the white evangelical church. But it's been my comfort and my salary and my comfort, I guess, my comfortable couch, my comfy couch. And yet I know, because I know that I know, and it's been years since I've known that I need to dive in. I'm not saying head first and go crazy, even though it's kind of what I'm doing, but to pursue this passion, to be an evangelist in this new day, through these new methods, in Jesus' name. So I guess the lesson there for you and for me is run some dread sprints, run into the fear, run into the fire. Like she says, it's more painful to not run in. And then she says how when you run into the dread, there's an adrenaline or a dopamine hit that you get out of it when you do the thing that you want to do. I think she's right. And so there's a reward at the end of the tunnel, even right away. When I texted my friend, when I almost got that job driving, when I put in some laundry, when I'm creating content and making a beat, absolutely. Dopamine. It feels so good to run into the dread. Do I have $1 million in safety and security? No, I don't. And when I do, will I have safety and security? Probably not, because that's just how some of us are made. So we have to get used to this feeling. It's really just a feeling. It's not even a thought or reality. Yeah, of course, money is money, and you see money going down and there's money coming in. So obviously there's some real things. I want a new table. I want new hubcaps for my wife, new rims. I want a new fence, blah, blah, blah. So there are things that I need that I can't afford right now. But the truth is that we're moving in the right direction. And the dread that keeps me from fully embracing this is I'm not going to have enough. God is not going to provide. And that's the thought and the feeling. And if you know the model, that's the thought and feeling, and then actions and reactions that I need to overcome. And I am, by running into the dread. So what is it that you want? What are the dreads that you have? Fears, hang-ups, frustrations, anger, exhaustion, whatever it is that's preventing you from your goal, your dream, your passion, God's calling upon your life. Run into the dread, run into the fire, get that dopamine hit, and you will surely live. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at davidTrig. Thanks so much for being here, and I will see you next time. Adios.